Second, what we learned from the RISI projects. And third, what are the strategies that we have built. So we have already submitted our strategic plan for 3 years, that how we proceed on each areas. So I will briefly about the JNU was established in 1960s. 70s it started working. So currently we have 9,000 students, 650 students. We have 17 schools and 5 special centers. Schools which are very important from international point of view. We have one full-fledged School of International Studies that focus studies on almost every part of the world. We have dedicated center for South Asia, East Asia, West Asia, European studies, American studies, Latin American studies, African studies. So almost entire continent is being studied. We have dedicated scholar and student persuasion. So first things, in order to internationalize is to know the international scenarios, what is happening. Second, another important point that we see in internationalization is understanding the language. Language is the big barriers in communication. So JNU from the very beginning has started a school of language. We have full-fledged school of language where we have almost every language of the world, major language are taught. We have all European language. We have Spanish, we have German, we have French, we have Portuguese language. Similarly, we have Japanese, Korean, Chinese language. We have Arabic language, Persian language, and Pashto language. Full-fledged department where we have students from graduation to undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD students. Third things that we have dedicated faculty members to deal with the international affairs students who come on universities, how they organize. So we have international student organizations who display their culture, their food, their dresses, and different kind of activities they also do. We have a full-fledged department called Student Activity Centers that is also being supported by, run by the students and supported by the administration. Third things, we are also trying to reach through the School of E-Learning. Recently we have started one dedicated School of E-Learning where most of our courses are also running through the, faculties are encouraged to prepare online courses for delivery. Of course, in light of the new education policies, we are in the process of changing our syllabus and programs, just like other universities are doing, so we are also doing. So quickly what we have done for this international workshop under this RISI program, all 4 level of things we did. For SL 1 level 2 workshop we organized, SL 2 again we organized for 2 workshops, SL3, SL4 we organized, 7 total workshops we organized. The beauty of this workshop was that we have sensitized, at least in our campuses, in our faculty, students, the importance and needs for internationalization of curriculum, internationalization of higher education. Not only this, in our many workshops, more than 450 participants were there. They were faculty, they were staff members, and students were there. And most of the faculty members, those who are the part of the RISI project, they were the resource persons and were the great learning experience for us also. Although we have been doing this kind of internationalization, almost many faculties have their international collaborations and their projects. JNU has one unique program called the Global Studies Programs. Under Global Studies Programs, from many European universities, students come and stay for 1 semester, 6 months. They do their course and their course is credited to their degree programs. And student exchange program, mobility programs we have. Many our faculty are also part of the Marie Curie and other program for faculty exchange are there. So we have great learning experience from these workshops and attending this RISI program. So we are very thankful to our partners for giving us this opportunity to learn, to be the part of this thing and to learn this thing. So we learn all these concepts that what we mean by internationalization of curriculum, why do we need and have an international curriculum, what are the different strategies, how we can proceed on this thing, and what are the challenges. So during our workshop, many times we also brought up feedback that when we wanted to implement this thing, what are the challenges that come. So these are the questions that we addressed during the workshop in our programs. So the lesson learned that was this thing that there is a need for international internationalization of our education system and preparing our students to work in a global scenario and be a global citizens. However, the concerns that were raised during our workshop, the learning skill that using of the bilingual languages was the one, emphasizing the relevance of international workshop or the local perspective. I think in the morning you are talking about the localization, not the globalization, but localization, taking the local context as well as the global context, the relevance. And during this, we learn all this thing. In all our programs, we have the participants from the different part of the country also. Many faculty from the other universities and colleges, they also participate. So message of internationalization has gone not in our campus but across the country. We have tried to reach to them. So this was the improvement. So after there has been always improvement for strengthening more our internationalization culture. Unlike the previous program when there were the completely many suggestions given by workshop participants, this one that was the last one, there were only 2 suggestions which need to be addressed for the sole purpose of satisfying the concern of wider. I mean, engaging non-academic staff in the discussion during the question. So what we learned one more thing is that it is not only the academic staff should be engaged, rather than non-academic, those who are the industry, those who are the civil societies, NGO, non-government organizations, they should be also brought in the process because they are also a major actor in the process of internationalization. Why? Because now university is no more the only center for knowledge production. Many other type of knowledge production centers are emerging and they are playing a great role in shaping the narratives and shaping the policy directives. So many non-universities, outside institutional, they are also very important actors they are making. So in some of our experience of celebrating internationalization workshop on armed force studies have largely been very positive and it was very interesting experience. During all these programs we have always followed the protocol designed by the RC programs to assure the quality of our programs, and we follow all the protocols for conducting the program. For strengthening and expanding of international culture through 3 years, we have also prepared a 3-year strategy plan for internationalization of the programs. That the detailed documents we have already submitted. Glimpse I will just give you. This new document will set out and articulate the overall strategy of JU in line with the NEP 2020 with clarity of how the push toward a new institutional role will further increase its international footprints. We had JU team persons will be responsible for preparing these documents in collaboration with the administrations and other stakeholders. We have already discussed with our HODs, Dean, that this is the project, so we have got a positive response for them to carry forward this thing. We have also thought that before the end of September 25, there is an articulated draft ready to be discussed and it has been appropriately disseminated. So there is a positive response for our stakeholders. International Office and Academic Services, we have got a full-fledged international collaboration office. We have there for signing different kind of agreement with our national universities, other part of the universities in the country and outside the country. So well-established this thing is there, and dedicated faculty member, office staff is there for providing all kind of support. In the document that we are preparing, it will also articulate genuine strategy for strengthening the structure of its international offices in line with NEP 2020 with a view to further increase its international footprint. What we are experiencing that when we are forging the relations with the foreign university, one challenge which is coming is that how to reconcile the grading system. If we are going to follow the dual degree programs, so in the dual degree programs for the master we are following the 64 credit, but international some they are following the 80 credit, some 70 credit. So how to reconcile the credit system? So we are also working on this thing. So probably this office, this document will also spell out the strategy for forging more collaboration, international collaboration. New documents of institutional strategy will also focus on communication strategy of being international office, keeping in mind the NAP 2020 and global scenario for internationalization of higher education institutions. Modernization of learning, teaching and assessment programs. So our focus is student-centered and competency-based learning outcomes and measurement of student workload that we have already there. Establishment of a comprehensive repository to support and guide faculty in implementing student-centered curriculum and internationalization. There is a plans for developing the resource material and digital learning material, both online and offline for the student and to make them available to learn. Synergizing with the technical context, initiative for engaging with external stakeholders are already there, but it needs to be strengthened in the structure. How to connect with the society, how to connect with the wider partners. We have already adult incubation centers in JNU, we already have, and more than 8 or 9 companies are already incubated, and many more are encouraged, and lots of seminars and conferences are organized to sensitize people to come and incubate their ideas if they have any idea to further give them help. Establish a robust entrepreneurship training program that empower members of JNU community to create successful spin-off venture. In accordance to NAP 2020, establish a comprehensive training program that equips JNU community with new skills for meaningful engagement and knowledge exchange with the communities. So friends, this was all about. We have given the full documents if you have